Welcome to the Urban Zen webinar for the Healthy Kids Learning Community. My name is Bobby Beal from the Center for Innovative Practices at Case Western Reserve University, part of the Begun Center for Violence Prevention. This webinar is part of our efforts to address the opioid epidemic in Ohio, supported by the Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services. The Healthy Kids Learning Community is designed to enable people to come together across the state and share their concerns and practices related to youth and families impacted by the opioid epidemic, and to increase collaboration with child welfare agencies, substance abuse treatment providers, and the court system to improve outcomes for children, parents, families, providers, and supporters. One of the sessions that we'll be offering is Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. This is designed to help providers and anyone associated with helping youth and families who are experiencing secondary traumatic stress, which is being exposed to the trauma of others and having an impact upon ourselves. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce Marcia Miller, who has been teaching yoga for over 40 years. She has taught all levels and types of students, from new beginners to yoga teachers and everyone in between. In 2001, Marcia was one of the founders and owners of Yoga on High in Columbus, Ohio. She is one of a few master teacher trainers for the Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. And she's in charge of the Reiki training for Urban Zen. She is on a community advisory board for the Center for Integrative Health and Wellness at The Ohio State University, and offers Urban Zen modalities in Wexner Medical Center at The Ohio State University. She designed and taught the yoga protocols for two large Ohio State University research projects, one researching the effect of yoga on the immune system, and the other on the benefits of yoga for women recovering from breast cancer. Marcia recently had the privilege and joy to teach Urban Zen to hospice workers in South Africa, and continues to offer skill building in self-care to people in hard jobs who want to continue their lives of service. Her yoga training has been continuous as she has broadened her knowledge in areas of asana and meditation, anatomy and physiology, yoga for traumatized populations, and therapeutic yoga. At this time, I'll turn the session over to Marcia Miller.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate your introduction, and I'm excited to be with all of you here that are on this webinar with us. Yes, I want to highlight especially the piece that Bobby said about wanting people in hard jobs to be able to keep doing it. And you all are doing that work, and we're here to support you to keep doing it. Urban Zen Integrative Therapy is a group of tools that we use to support you in taking care of yourself. And it includes a number of modalities or practices that we use that are layered together to support your own wellness. Each of one powerful in itself. Yoga practices, really simple, that can be done even in bed or at a desk. Reiki, as Bobby mentioned, which is an energy practice, hands-on healing or a little off the body. We use essential oils. We use breath work and guided meditation. And we use poses, as well as moving poses. We also use restful poses. And if you come to the trainings that we're doing around the state, I'll teach you portions of each of these things that you can do for yourself. Should we go to the slide? Let's go to the first slide. So this first slide, we'll spend just a moment on burnout, of why you might want to come to these trainings that we're doing around the state. We're more and more aware of the toll that working with difficult people in difficult situations can take on us as helpers. And that can include the deterioration in that relationship. So we're in a helping position to someone that may be an addict or a child of an addict, and we're not able to do that job as well as we can when we're experiencing burnout. And burnout is one of the results from secondary trauma that Bobby described. Also, there's a decrease in the quality as well as the quantity of care. There's an increase in burnout and stress-related claims. There's a decrease in practitioner psychological and physical health, so it shows up in our own bodies if we don't take care of ourselves. Decrease in job satisfaction, decrease in productivity, distraction leading to workplace errors. This is much, much more common in people that are experiencing deep stress and secondary trauma. So let's go to the next slide. While we're going to the next slide, here we go. Why self-care in the workplace? Well, of course, all the things that we just mentioned are why. You can do, the beautiful thing about Urban Zen is there are practices you can do either before you go to work or at home, but some of the practices you can do right on the job. This is a hospice nurse here in Columbus, Ohio. He's smelling right now an essential oil, and we'll talk about those in a few more moments. So right on the job, he can be there, he takes a moment, and maybe if you'd like, you can do this for yourself. What's your favorite smell? And you might even close your eyes if that feels good to you. What's your favorite smell that when you think of it, your whole body has that sense of awe? Urban Zen Integrative Therapy, I'd like to talk about the title for a moment. Urban means chaos. It means everything you could think about. It means noise, lots of people, lots of stimulation, lots of stress. So the urban and Urban Zen refers to that. And then the Zen refers to calm, that kind of Zen experience of chill. And so we believe in bringing calm into the chaos. You all have jobs that are probably fairly chaotic. That's not going to change. What can change is how you adapt to it and how you take care of yourself so that you can be the calm person in the room. Let's go to the next slide. One of our teachers, Roshi Joan Halifax, is someone who's had a number of jobs in her life. Without self-care, there is only sick care, not health care. She's worked with the dying for 40 years, and her commitment now for the remaining of her life, she's in her 70s now, is to take care of the caregivers. And so she's been one of the teachers that has supported us in the Urban Zen work. Few simple examples, and in the workshops, we will spend more time giving you specific ways to do this, to utilize your break time for self-care rather than for stress care. Stress might be drinking more coffee on break than is good for you, and you probably know what that is, eating junk food or not taking breaks at all. We'll teach you how to do walking meditation at work. We'll teach you about essential oils that you can keep with you for a moment's break. We'll support you in learning to say no to the things that you can't manage that particular time. We'll encourage you to eat healthy foods rather than junk food, although we won't go into details of what that is. That's not what we do. We'll support you to start a staff class and how to practice before and after work. Next slide. While the next slide's coming, the other thing I'll say is, in addition to encouraging you to do all these things that you probably know you need to do and can't figure out quite when to do them, is we're going to actually, in these workshops, give a big chunk of time to these practices themselves so you can experience them directly. So this is a picture of someone who's doing a hip stretch right in his chair, again, this hospice worker. You can see the doctor in the background, and it's a busy hospice, and yet here he is taking a few moments for himself in the middle of his day. 5 minutes is enough to make a big difference. So we're going to give you a big chunk of the workshop time will be restoring you to your natural level of ease and wellness through these practices. And then we'll brainstorm how to fit them into your day. Next slide. We call these practices potent, powerful, and portable. Portable, so you can carry them anyway. Here's something that he's doing in the chair. If this looks good to you and you want to join in and do it, you can feel a side stretch. This side stretching here will help increase your respiration, open up your lungs, and if you go a little bit back as well, you might just feel energized. Anytime you can enjoy a little bit of a deeper breath right at work and move your body around, these bodies were designed to move, you'll feel a little bit better. Next slide. It's surprising. So here's another one. This one also is great for respiration. Opening the arms wide, and you can do this with the webinar right now if you like. And then bring the palms back together. And as you open the arms wide, that's an inhale. And as you bring your palms back together, probably your body's exhaling. And so you can increase your oxygen and deepen your exhalation as you bring your hands back. If you like, you can also reach your arms up toward the ceiling and then come back down to your heart again, reaching up towards the ceiling and coming back down again. Notice, it's so simple to do this, isn't it? It's almost so simple that we don't think it would matter if we didn't do it. And yet, if you did it with me, you're probably already feeling, oh, rib cage is more spacious, a little bit more ease in the breathing. And for me, more aliveness, more like, oh yeah, that was good. Anytime during the day, you can get that feeling of, oh, that felt good. You will be better able to help your clients. Next slide, next one. As I mentioned, we'll teach you how to use essential oils, and I'll bring a number of different oils so you can find some that work for you. The one that I have in my hand right now is lime. We use Young Living essential oils, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Lime is so refreshing, so I'm going to hold it here below my nose. Let the scent come to me. And it's almost like so refreshing and tingling in my nose. Part of your brain that deals with smell is right close to the nose, actually, and it's also close to your memory centers of the brain, which are some of the areas that get affected from the trauma that we experience directly or indirectly. For me, an oil like lime is both relaxing and energizing, and it gives me a sense of a moment of reset. A moment of reset. It's so powerful. Some of the oils are mostly relaxing. Some of the oils are mostly energizing. Some are what I would call more refreshing, especially the citrus oils. And then there's a few blends that are very grounding and are especially good to use when we face difficult challenges. And we'll bring all these oils to the workshop so you can find one or two that'll really work for your needs. Next slide. And here's a couple more. Frankincense is one of the grounding oils. It's also has an uplifting experience for it. Lemon is one of those refreshing, reset, and relaxing oils. Peppermint is very energizing. And so we find for many people that if you're lagging at the end of the day, maybe it's 3 o'clock and you really want more sugar or more coffee, maybe a little peppermint oil will wake you up. We have safety across the title here. We don't use fragrances. We use extracts from these plants themselves that are therapeutic grade, which means we use them in hospitals. They're very safe. And so it's a little different than a perfume of, say, lemony perfume. It has actual real elements from the plant in it. And so there's, in addition to, for most people, scents that they enjoy, there actually are therapeutic elements in these oils. Next slide. And while we're moving to the next slide, oh, here we go. The world is a better place when you are busy in it. And it is also a better place when you take care of yourself. I wish both for you for many years to come. This is a student of mine, Christopher Richendaler, and a couple of years ago, he wrote this, I'll call it a blessing, in a birthday card that he gave me. And he knows I'm never going to be someone who lies around and doesn't work. I'm not wired that way. And I'm guessing a lot of you aren't either. And so be busy. That's your work in the world. Helping people is a deep, deep calling for most of us. And if we can take care of ourselves, then we can keep doing that work. If we don't take care of ourselves, we burn out and experience, experience the stress that makes us less capable and less able to do what we do. And I know many, many people who have had to quit their jobs because of the stress they experienced, and that stress going over into either psychological or physical ailments of a variety of kinds. I feel sad about that. I want you to be able to keep doing what you're doing. The practices that we do in Urban Zen deal with the basic symptoms of disease and stress. So we have practices for pain. We have practices for anxiety. We have practices for digestive issues. For some people, stress goes to the gut. And so maybe you're constipated, maybe you're the opposite. There are practices for all these things. One of the symptoms of stress and trauma is insomnia. A lot of us don't sleep well at night. We take our work home with us and can't figure out how to sleep. So there are practices for that. There's practices for exhaustion. Many of us in this world, whether we work with secondary trauma or not, are exhausted. And if you have some of the other symptoms, and if you have a lot of stress in your life, likely you're exhausted. So these are all the symptoms we'll be working with. And they manifest in many different kinds of illnesses. We don't focus on specific illnesses, we focus on the symptoms. So I hope that we can see you in one of these workshops coming up in the near future. And I'm excited to work with Bobby. We both have such a passion for supporting people in this work. Bobby, is there anything else you want to add or ask me or talk about for the folks on the webinar?
That was an excellent introduction. I'm excited personally to be able to hit a couple of these sessions. And let me go ahead and tell our audience a few more details so that they can take advantage of this. Thanks, Marcia, for highlighting the practices and benefits of Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. Folks, if you would like to learn more and or participate in an experiential Urban Zen workshop, we will be offering 6 3-hour sessions, 1 in each trauma-informed care region in Ohio, between October 2018 and April 2019. We encourage everyone who's interested in taking care of themselves so that they can continue to help others to register and attend a session near you. If you are already on our Healthy Kids Learning Community listserv, you'll receive email notifications about these sessions and opportunities to register. If you aren't sure if you're on our listserv or you would like to register, simply email me, bobby.beal@case.edu. That's BOBBI.BEALE@case.edu. And we'll make sure that we put you on the listserv so that you can know about this and all of our other sessions to help Ohio have safe, healthy youth and families. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.